writing with 90% of the NT in it?
Well, like I said earlier, I'm not a human computer where I can just pull up lots of information.
Do you want to search the information and give me to me? Okay. So in 110 AD, 90% of the NT was quoted by this conspicuous.
Yeah. Or I could just turn around and say, well, if you want to disprove it.
No. You made a claim. Yeah. The onus is on you to substantiate it, not me to disprove it.
Okay. Now, while I'm looking for this, I want to ask.
No, look for it. I have time. Don't worry about it. Look, don't ask the camera because you're speaking to me, not the camera.
Okay, of Mecca in 632 AD, and I'm not saying this is a criticism for Muslims, okay? I love you, you're my brothers, I genuinely love you.
Speak to me.
Okay,
and go back to your sources, find...
I want to know, because I'm a seeker of truth.
Look, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Okay. So let's deal with that. You made a claim. Okay. Because we want to know, from 110, do we have any writings in 110 AD of the Christian writing that has 90% of the NT text surviving today?
The church fathers, and many of the church fathers
wrote
the New Testament.
Let me ask you the question again. Do we have a historical record anywhere in the world today from 110 AD in which that writing has 90% of the New Testament text?
I'm not going to go now.
Sorry?
I'm under pressure. I'm not used to this like you. I didn't come down here for debate. But
you're debating.
Oh, no, I'm on the way to Australia. I'm not debating.
I'm on the way to the hereafter. So, you know, yours is a shorter destination, mine is a longer destination. So what we are saying is this.
But I will say, right, Christianity...
90% of the text. No, I don't hear you.
No, you can't
waffling.
Conversation.
Evidence.
Christianity, you have theology and you have experience. Now, like I said earlier, Christianity doubled every 10 years for the first 200 years. We didn't have a Bible until 350 AD. And prior to that, it doubled because of the Holy Spirit that is in the book of Acts. Right, and I've witnessed the Holy Spirit really powerfully. I was involved in the New Age beforehand, and I was meditating on mantras at Mount Everest and stuff like that. And
the next thing you're going to say,
telling you, man,
that you were so bad and God saved you.
Perfect thing you will ever see. Having a proper relationship with God. I respect Muslims. I respect your.
Are you preaching or what?
And I really respect.
Are you preaching?
How much?
Are you preaching?
Sorry?
Are you preaching?
Well,
not with me, please. Right? So here. Okay. You made a claim, 90% of the New Testament text was there in the writings of someone called Conspicuous, a historian. Now, we know historically that the earliest surviving documents of the New Testament, there is nothing in the first century. So that means for the first 100 years, there is nothing. So in 10 years' time, you're saying the 90% text of the New Testament is available. Now, this is news to me. And I'm sure this is news to the scholars of the New Testament who have dedicated their life to study the New Testament manuscripts. Now,
I'm studying
let me make my point. The earliest documentary evidence surviving of the New Testament writings, first 200 years, you had only fragments.
Yeah,
P50.
Because the Holy Spirit was moving.
No.
It doubled every 10 years.
It's not. You're agreeing.
Christians getting burned at the stake.
P52.
They got blamed. P52.
You're preaching. You're preaching.
And that's why.
You're preaching.
No, but you're talking to everyone. You're shouting.
But I'm speaking to you.
You don't give me a chance to speak.
P52. P52.
You're putting into me.
P52. Papyrus P52. How much of the text does it contain?
Sorry?
P52.
P52, I admit, I've never heard of that. What is that?
Good. Exactly.
Because it doesn't exist.
Right. Now, okay.
Well, yeah. Okay, what about this? Have you heard of Tree 39? You're not a proper Muslim.
My friend. What's your name?
It's obviously not a valid source.
What's your name?
Eddie.
I'm Mansour.
And despite that fact, I do respect you.
I respect you too. That's why I'm having a discussion.
Thank you.
Within the first 200 years of Christianity, are there any documents of the New Testament that is up to 90% complete? Anywhere in the world? Any libraries? Any museums?
Okay, can I answer for 1 minute?
Yeah.
Okay, for a start, like I said, Christianity doubled every 10 years because of the Holy Spirit. The Bible is not our God. The Bible leads us to God. Now hear me out, okay? The Bible we have never claimed the Bible to be word for word from God, and that's blatantly obvious because, for example, when Jesus came out of the tomb, in two different accounts of the Gospels, you see he meets two different people. So we never claimed it. Like we know that there are contradictions, we know that there are word changes, but the fundamental principles of Christianity, the basic theology, is still the same. Okay? So no, I totally agree with you. I do, but that doesn't disprove God. And I will say another point, that your earliest manuscript of the Quran,
I have to stop you there.
is further away.
No, I have to stop.
I
have to stop you there, Eddie.
Jesus.
Eddie.
So which is
Eddie.
the most valuable source?
Eddie.
The
Eddie, I have to stop you
version
there.
of Jesus, or the Christian side. Forgive me.
Eddie.
Forgive me.
The question I asked you was, which you answered. What was my question that you were answering?
I don't know, sorry.
That's precisely the problem. Now, Eddie, to have a dialogue,
I'm not experienced. I'm not an expert.
to have a dialogue means you try attentively to listen.
Come on,
so I'm going to give you an opportunity again to ask the same question again to you.
I know what you're doing though, man. So you're a professional debater and you're honing in on one thing that I don't know about, because I told you I'm not a computer. And then you're trying to.
Okay. How about discussing?
I don't know anything about.
How about?
What about dialogue? You're like,
look, because it was my turn to speak after you said something. You were. One second.
Hang on.
You were answering the question, and
this is professional debate.
Excuse me.
I'm an amateur.
Are you sure you went to theology school or drama school? Was it drama school or theology school?
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Eddie, I asked you a question. Within the first 200 years of Christianity, do you have any documentary evidence of the 90% of the New Testament text extant anywhere in the world, in museums and libraries? Instead of answering this question,
I'm not everybody go home tonight and Google.
Google is there at source.
Conspicuous, okay? Because I'm not going to do it now because I'm used to this. People all around me, and what am I going to do? Look at my phone and stand there like a lemon for 5 minutes.
You do it now. You do it now.
You do it. Go meet my cousin.
So go and meet your cousin then. Why are you wasting your time? Go and meet your cousin.
I respect your point, and all I say.
No, because you are preaching. You're preaching. So let me ask. Okay.
And whilst you're there,
let me ask you a question, Eddie.
Exist in 632.
Eddie.
Because all the other historical places around the world, like Corinth, like even it's in Peru, there is mountains of nothing.
Eddie.
I'm not saying it's not true. What I'm saying is research.
Instead of preaching, do we have any evidence of Prophet Moses in the historical record apart from the Bible?
That's a good question. Let me explain this.
I don't want you to explain it. Do we have any evidence?
Is he asking me a question, or you didn't want me to explain it? You asked me a question.
Go ahead.
When was Moses written in the Bible?
I have asked my question. I'm not going to answer.
I thought you were an expert. 2000 BC, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. When was the Muslim version of Moses? When was that written? Was it written in the Quran or one of the Hadiths? What was it, 700 AD, 800 AD, 900 AD?
You're confusing me. I asked you a simple question.
Yeah, you did.
And what are you doing?
What I'm saying is that we wrote it in the Bible, right? Or in the Old Testament, and it was written 2000 BC, right?
1400 BC.
But what you're forgetting, Mansour, and you know this, right? We've got like 27 different pieces of evidence of the New Testament, right? Over 20,000, right? Now, please just hit me with this one point. That is before Islam. Islam, nothing about Mecca.
Bro, you're not answering the question.
Yeah, I am answering the question. I am.
Physical evidence.
You know what I'm going to say though. That's why you're talking over me. Okay, well, hear me out.
So just say it.
So what I'm trying to say is 2000.
Cut to the chase.
Hear me out. I'm trying to. If you want to 2000 BC, right?
Let's see what he's got to answer.
2000 BC.
Yeah,
that's a long time ago. We don't have evidence of hardly anything.
Oh, so that's your proof. No, wait, no evidence.
Can I in 0 AD or 33 AD, we've got loads of stuff. Conduct, conspicuous, like Islam, 500 years later.
You need to. I think it's best. I think it's best you meet your cousin.
Can you see? Okay, thank you.
You know why? Because I don't want. Let me tell you why. Because I don't want people who are going to comment and really say some nasty things about you. I don't want to give them that opportunity.
Okay, I'm sorry if I.
Do you know why?
I don't mean to.
Because Eddie. Because when people realize that you're not making much sense here. here.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't want them to say like this is a crazy individual coming here. So I want to stop that. I want to stop that. No. I want to stop doing that.
Okay.
So
Thank
what
you.
I'm saying is next time,
Yeah.
when people ask you what's your name, don't say I am going to meet my cousin. That's not your name.
Every
Okay?
2 seconds. But anyway, God bless you.
Take care.
Thank you very much. And you know, I don't mean any.
Ask him how old was Pharaoh, and we have evidence for him, but not Moses. Why?
How old was?
Pharaoh, he came even before.